All right. All right. One. All right. We got motion. All right, we bouncing off the view op right now. Gosh, this freaking Nasdaq has been just chopping the 200 for the past couple days. For the past what, 3 days? It's just been going just sideways, accumulation phase. So right now, we're still bouncing off of view op. I mean, the 200 on a higher time frame wise. Lower, it's 15-minute. We do have an imbalance right there. It's trying to bounce off of sweeping some lows down here. A couple lows. It has not really taken out pre-market highs or pre-market lows yet. So pre-market lows and highs are still in play. Lows are, highs are closer than the lows. We're above the view op, holding view op area. So, not really too much. It's just been sideways, pretty much. 5-minute chart. Wait for this. Got 30 seconds left for this 5-minute candle. So I'm gonna go ahead and start marking that the candle out. Wow, if it closes as a doji, that's gonna. All right, we got the high, and then we got the low pretty much setting in. Wow, it's closing as a doji. So a doji 5-minute candle, a lot of indecision. Not quite a doji, but. All right. There's that range now. Let's see what. Be interesting to see what it breaks down. If it is it going to take the low or the high, and what it's going to do. Pretty much gonna have to just wait and see what happens. Right now we're just at view op area. So if we start breaking the high, we got highs up here. Start displacing. We got pre-market highs at 25,420 area. So question is, does it want to go to that 25,420 high, or does it want to go to 25,200 lows? That would be pre-market lows. Oh man. Oh man, my arm. Oh. Do we got any news today? See if we got some news. See if we got any news today. Forex. Uh, 10 a.m. existing home sales. We had 8:30 news, which already passed. 10 a.m. existing home sales, yellow folder news. Nothing to really worry about. So no really major news event. Nothing really major. All right, we're still chopping in this 5-minute range. Still chopping. Still. Wait until it picks a direction. It's got to confirm what it wants to do. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. NASDAQ. My view is up until we start breaking something, up until we start really breaking this 5-minute range, will show more of a direction. As of now, you just be kind of guessing. It's more in the bullish phase because we are above the VWAP area, so we are in bullish territory, but we still are stuck in this range. Looks like it may want to go for those 5 pre-market highs possibly in play here. Depending on how price, if we get an imbalance here. I'll be waiting for an imbalance as long as it... Alright, see that? That's why there's a sweep. There's a sweep. That's why you wait for confirmation. You don't want to get stuck in a freaking sweep. That would be not good. Failed to close above. Now we're back inside the range. A lot of sell. Why do I keep doing that? A lot of selling pressure stepping in. Come on. What's it gonna be? So it's already tried to take out a low. So the thing about it is, it's tried to take out a low. If it can't make another high, it's gonna go lower. If it can't break that. And if it goes lower and starts displacing lower, then be a pretty big red flag, because we've already tried to take out a low down here, as you could see. No, you can't see, but there's a low where my cursor is. Down there, there's a low, so all right, back up, back up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And we got pretty much, I mean, we got a straight shot to pre-market highs. There's not really much holding it back if it could really start displacing above. Really not much holding price back from taking out those highs if that's what it wants to do. I just hope it doesn't straight shoot to the upside in like one candle and don't give me an opportunity to get in. Hopefully it makes like a slow grind to those levels and not just a straight shot. Right now, a lot of wicks. I don't know what, we don't got news, so I don't know why it's chopping around like this. Buyers are just keep failing to take it higher. See, I would be kind of waiting for an imbalance to form above this range. If we can get confirmation of an imbalance, and then I can kind of take my entry off the beginning of that imbalance. But as of now, they're not. Nothing. Yup. Still. Me. Man, this thing is so indecisive. Don't get chopped up. Appreciate the likes. Thank you. It almost looks like it wants to go for the lows again, but who knows? This thing could pop up until it really starts breaking those lows. Gotta be careful. One thing is, I mean, we've been kind of, we have been slowly grinding up pre-market, but it's been slow grind to the upside. But just like yesterday, I mean, it was going one direction until market opened, then it completely shifted direction. So just because pre-market has been slowly grinding to the upside doesn't mean it's going to continue doing that. Testing view op one more time. All right, looks like we're breaking to the downside. We're breaking view op. Uh-oh. Now let's see what happens here. Is this a displacement or is this a displacement or is this a sweep is the question. Those wicks were the red flag up here. These wicks kind of showed buyers failed to step in. Sellers were pretty aggressive up there, so we're below view op at this point. Now, I would have to have a displacement, not a sweep. Ugh. Ugh! Yeah, it's tanking, but I'm just, I gotta be careful so it doesn't sweep the lows one more time and then pop right back up. But as of now, we broke view op, so we're below view op now. But you can see, I mean, it's broke the low of the 5 minute, but so far it hasn't displaced really. This next candle will tell me more if it's a displacement or a, and then pretty much waiting for that, waiting for an imbalance to kind of form and then retrace to the upside. Looks like it may want to go for those pre-market lows. We got an imbalance inside that range, so my have to be see how this candle closes. We got 30 seconds left. So this is the displacement, but we'll see how this... Wow, that was a big push up. Oh, bouncing off the pivot point here. So, see. We got view beginning of that imbalance pretty much. I think I'm gonna go see if it can. see what happens. I want a little bit of a better ah, dang it. Oh, crap. Ah, I was gonna freaking put my order in. I missed. Son of a gun. I was gonna put my order in the imbalance. See if it can come back up. And, oh, test it one more time. Come on. Oh, come on. Don't leave. No! No! I missed it. I missed it. You bastards. I was looking to see where if I should put my order at the beginning of this imbalance. Oh man. Dang it. What a perfect trade too. Now I mean the second attempt is like I don't like the second attempt now that it's done it. You're full-time trading? No, I mean I stopped trading at 11. Now if it comes up, I mean it's crap. I've gotten burned like this before, where I take it on the second time and it stops me out. First time is always the best one. Because the second time you gotta think less sellers are probably gonna come in. The first time it's like you get a lot more sellers. We do have an imbalance right here, which I guess would probably be more interesting to kind of... That's kind of my idea right now. Since I missed this first one, I would maybe let it try to pop up to this... Yeah, unless it just leaves without me. Wow. Dang it. That's a bummer. Freaking A. I was too distracted of trying to figure out if I should take it on this imbalance. And then by the time I look at the first imbalance, it's already filled it. But yeah, there's that perfect short opportunity. It's all right. It hurts. It really hurts. It hurts my heart knowing I just... But... See, that's all you had to do is wait for confirmation. As I was saying, this 5-minute range, you wait, nothing. You don't trade chop. You don't trade chop. You wait for the market to pick a direction. Once it picks a direction, then you can go with the flow. Right? So we started breaking below. I was like, all right, there's the first red flag. We were breaking view off, breaking that 5-minute range. I said this candle is going to tell me whether it's a sweep or a displacement. And then we got a massive displacement lower, left behind this tiny imbalance, right? So now, looking for... This was the exact same play as I took yesterday. Exact same trade. Retraced back up to that imbalance and immediately dumped to the downside. Remember, old support levels can get retested as new resistance levels. I would want a little more higher now that I missed this first one. I don't know if the second... This imbalance would be smart. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I probably would take it, but... But we're also getting to a time right now where it's 9:52, which reversals happen. That 10 a.m. reversal, I would not want to be stuck in that 10 a.m. reversal. Trend is your friend. Absolutely. Trend is always your friend. Don't fight the trend. That's what a lot of people go wrong. I think, my personal opinion in trading, a lot of people go wrong is they try to catch falling knives. They try to catch it like this is falling right now. People are trying to long up here, right? Down here. People are trying to catch a long and trying to catch it to bounce, and they're going against the trend, right? They try to go long, they get stopped out. They try to go long, they get stopped out. Like, they keep trying to fight the trend, and then they wonder why they can't get, you know, why they're always taking losses. Why not wait for the trend to start to form? That's why I mark out the 5-minute range. Once the market picks a direction, you go with the flow. Oh, man, I don't know if I should take this. This is going to be a riskier trade if I do take it, because I still will take it, but again, that's just a FYI. It's a This is a riskier trade. The first one was the best one. Second one, lower probability, but I am kind of, if it can get up there. If not, then it is what it is. It's going up, put it in. I mean, if it gets up there, I'll pull my order in as when it gets close. I just don't want to have a resting order for no reason right now, just in case, like, you know, your internet cuts out or something. I don't want to have an order on. So I try to typically wait. Like, I'll wait for price to really start to push up and get super close to the level I want to get into. And then once it gets super close to that level, then I'll put an order in for it to fill it. But I don't want to just sit here and, you know, with the order resting for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Long order? Hell no. I mean, heck no. Although it is a 10 a.m. reversal time, possibly we could get a reversal here. But nah, man, I'm not going against the trend. Hey. I'm not trying to catch a falling knife. If anything, I want to try to short this thing. I want this thing to push up so I can short it, not so I can long. Now, if it gets above UOP, if it gets back above UOP and starts displacing above, you know, we got VWAP right here at what, 25,323 level. So 25,323. Right above that 5-minute range is the VWAP. So if price can get back above UOP, inverse this gap, if it could really start displacing above these highs, then I would think about longs. Up until it's below VWAP and still trending lower, nah, bruh. If I miss it, like, if it doesn't go up there and give me another opportunity, then it is what it is. Guess what? Tomorrow is always gonna come. Only other place of interest I see is below the 15-minute fair value gap. It's a 5-minute order block right below it. Let me look. 15-minute. Where do you see a 15-minute fair value gap? I don't see any. There's gaps, but they've already been filled. God, man. Let me check 5-minute. You said 5-minute order. I mean, we got... I don't see any, to be honest with you. I see straight shot to pre-market lows. Oh my gosh. What a freaking trade. Wow. That's a perfect. Talk about a perfect trade. You can't get any more perfect than that. That's a, like, hits your entry and then immediately goes to TP. That's like, this is the trade you want to see every single day happen. If trading could be like this every single day, I'd be a freaking, I'd be a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire. So freaking bad. Easy for me to say I liquidated my account too many times. Yeah, if you keep one thing, I'm telling you, one thing that would help you, stop trading against the trend. Stop, like, I'm telling you, I don't know, like, human psychology, for some reason, you want to be able, you look at it in the terms of, like, this thing is sold off so much now that it's got to bounce, right? And it does, it's going to bounce at some point. But what people try to do is they try to catch it. Now, if you have a strategy where, like, for example, we're about to take out pre-market lows. We're right at pre-market lows, about to take it out. If you have some kind of strategy where, you know, you take, it sweeps pre-market lows and you take reversals off of pre-market lows and highs and stuff like that, that works, that's different. But what I see a lot of people doing is, and this is something I did a while ago, I would try to catch, right? It would take out a level, it would start uptrending, for example, right? Say it takes out a liquidity point and you see this green candle right there. And then you try to long thinking, all right, we're going to start going up. We're bouncing off a pivot. We're going to start going up. Boom, you get stopped out. Then it maybe takes out another level, starts going back up. You get long again thinking, all right, this is the bottom now. And you get stopped out. I've done that. And telling you, stop. Like, if you just go with the direction, that could change your trading in a drastic way. Because also, when you're going with the direction, you're not looking at stupid trades. You're not looking at reversal trades or whatever. You're looking for trades to go with the direction. And what I also keep in mind is, right now we've taken out pre-market lows. Now, there's another short opportunity possibly to take from this because we had a break. This would kind of be a good short opportunity, but the reason it's not is because we've already taken out pre-market lows. And last thing I want to do is for price to take out pre-market lows, me try to go short for this retracement, and then it stops me out because that was the sweep, pre-market lows, and it goes back up higher to view up. But this is exactly what happened yesterday. This is like, look, I'll show you. 5-minute range, right? We displaced below the 5-minute range. Displace, you have to wait for the displacement. We displaced, imbalance, right? It pushed up to retest it as resistance, filled that imbalance, and then dropped immediately. Let's go to yesterday real quick. For those of you who didn't see yesterday, and a lot of people lost money yesterday, but yesterday, same exact crap happened yesterday as today. Check this out. If I can get there. All right, is this yesterday? Wait, we were uptrending yesterday? No, we didn't. I'm tripping. We were selling off yesterday. I'm tripping. Something ain't right here. Hold on, give me a second. Why is this? I'm like genuinely. Did we uptrend yesterday? For some reason, I thought we were selling off yesterday. But regardless, I don't think this is yesterday, to be honest with you. But even look at this, whatever. Look, 5-minute range, look what happens. We displace above, and look at this. Look at this candle right here. Oh yeah, this was yesterday, sorry. 5-minute, displaced above. Look at this imbalance that formed. Buyers started stepping in. I see pre-market highs as a target. All right? It pulls back, fills that imbalance, and then we take off right away to pre-market highs. Exactly the same thing happened today, except to the downside. All right. All right. What are you spamming? Anyone wants help in losses, recover, come in private message. Bruh, stop. Nobody listen to him. Nobody message him. No. Scammer alert. Scammer alert. You're blocked. Banned. Get out of here. And if you're a real person, stop acting like a bot. Somebody tries to message you telling you, I will help you recover your losses. No. Bro, people do anything. These freaking scammers. Now I'm gonna get flagged for saying that word. Dun dun. TikTok already, for some reason, they restricted me. I have no idea what I said to this day. I have no idea. They sent me a message that they're restricting my live. Okay. Oh, man. What did I say? What do I say? Oh, crap. Oops, I shouldn't touch that. What do I even say? I don't even say anything bad. Hopefully now that TikTok got bought out, it'll be better. But, I don't know. How many Apex accounts do you have? I have five funded Apex accounts and 2 funded Take Profit Trader accounts. I have 7 accounts total that I copy trade every time I take a trade. So when I take a lot of people are like, oh, you owe me. It was only $150 trade. It's whatever I make times 7. So that's what I thought. Yesterday was downtrend. Why the heck? What day was that then? Where's yesterday? All right, hold on. 6, 5, 4. 3, 2, 1. 12 o'clock. 11. 10. 9, 8, 7. 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, there's yesterday. Yeah, you're right. I guess I scrolled back a little too far. But that other day, same thing. Now look, yesterday. Yesterday's downtrend. We had the 5-minute range. Look at this 5-minute range here. A lot of people lost money yesterday. 5-minute range, right? We're holding, nothing is happening. We're just chopping. I don't know what direction it wants to go into. I have no idea. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on my hands. Then we have this low here. Boom. It didn't sweep the low. It displaced below the low. So once it displaced below the low, and we broke view up, right? I said, I had a short entry in here. Once I saw that this candle right here close all the way down here, and this gap was here, I was like, all right, this is my short entry. So I had a short entry right at the beginning of that imbalance. And look what happened. Comes up, taps my short, and then immediately drops to the downside for pre-market lows. This is exactly what happened today, this morning. Right? We broke through it. We tap it again as resistance, and we go lower. Now it's swept pre-market lows. Now I don't know. I mean, now I could shoot. Who knows what it's gonna So this retest was actually not bad. Maybe I should have taken that retest. I just didn't want to take this retest because we've already swept pre-market lows, and a lot of times it'll blow through that level like nothing. If we get a V-shape out of pre-market lows, which we do sometimes, I'm telling you, it's like, it just starts freaking... Going back to 300. I mean, at some point, like, we got view up. View up is volume weighted average price. So at some point, it's going to retrace back up to view up. You just don't know when. Is this a reversal or a continued downtrend? If it's going to reverse, this is a potential spot where it could, like, this is a spot where you could see buyers trying to step in, if anything, right? Now, you never know, because if buyers will try to step in, as they did, right? You see buyers trying to step in. We took out pre-market lows, and look at this one candle of buyers stepping in. But you don't get the, like, you don't have enough buying pressure to continue pushing it up. Sometimes you'll see reversals, pre-market low gets swept, and like this candle, and it'll just V-shape right out of it because you have a lot of buyers stepping in. When you don't have a lot of buyers stepping in, guess what happens? It just, like, momentum starts dying out. Crap, this was a good retest. But freaking A. It's all right. I don't see, if you just go with the trend, break and retest. Break, retest. The only reason, like I said, the only reason I didn't take this one was because it was pre-market. If pre-market lows weren't there, I would have 100% took this trade too. But since pre-market lows were down there, I did not want to risk getting stuck in a V-shape out. But it looks like it's failing to go higher, so if it keeps failing to go higher, guess what? It's going to go for another level down there. It's going to keep going lower. All right. A lot of people went long yesterday. Yeah, a lot of people went long yesterday because they weren't patient. Or, look, listen, I can't shit on, like, who knows? Maybe they had a strategy that they used, and yesterday was just a losing day for them, and that's completely fine. I have those days. I have those days where I take a loss and everybody else is like, it seems like everybody made money except me. So you know you can't really. But I'm just a big proponent. You wait for direction, right? You wait for direction to get put in, then you go with the direction. You go with the momentum. You don't try to guess where the market wants to go. I don't need to try to guess when I can just wait. Does Apex have trailing drawdown or consistency rule? Top Step is down bad. They got rinsed over. Yeah, Top Step. I don't know if this is the fall of Top Step, but it seems like I hear a lot of bad stuff about Top Step. Like, just the rules they're implementing, it just seems like they're just, I don't know. I don't know if they're struggling or what, or they're just trying to. But yeah, I mean, Apex does have a trailing drawdown rule and a consistency rule. Their consistency rule is 30%. I believe 30%, and they do have a trailing drawdown rule. But here's the thing, this is why I'm a big proponent of base hits. Like, for me, I take base hits, so the trailing drawdown doesn't really matter for me. It doesn't affect me in any way because I take base hits. So I never really have, I mean, very rarely will that happen where, like, it'll almost hit your TP and then reverse and stop you out. Like, it happens very rarely. What's the silver method? It's the silver method? Yeah, and this, like, all you had to do was be patient, right? For today. All you had to do was be patient. Look at chopping 5-minute range. That's why I mark out the 5-minute range. We're chopping. Nothing. Displacement, boom, direction lower. And that's why sometimes you got to be careful, because sometimes it will sweep and then it will push right back up. And that's just part of it. I mean, you get those days where it looks like it picks a direction and then it just, like, freaking reverses and stops you out. That happens. And there ain't nothing you could do about it but just have a stop loss and manager. All 50K accounts? Yeah, all my accounts are 50K. 50K, in my opinion, 50K accounts are the best accounts. Because 50K accounts give you the best, like when you're trying to pass an evaluation, you have, with Apex, you have a $2,400 drawdown versus a $3,000. It's pretty much a 1-to-1 drawdown to profit taking. So, it's just the best accounts to trade. And that's why they're the most popular. How's payouts? I mean, payouts are good as long as you follow your rules. And it's like, as long as you're following the 30% consistency rule. You're taking like base hits. You're not allowing price to really go a crazy amount in profit and then pull all the way back on you. So, like Apex pays out if you follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, then... But here's the thing, if you break a rule, just keep trading another 8 days and then request another payout. But from what I heard, so if you break a rule, trade another 8 days, request the payout, but don't request a payout. Don't request a payout with like the funds that you broke the rule in, if that makes sense. That's what I heard people saying, to not do that. So like request a payout with the new profits, and then on the next payout you request it with the old ones too. That's what somebody said. I don't know if you have to do that or not, if that's a rule or not, but because somebody was getting denied a payout for breaking a rule or something, and he kept getting denied and figured out that's what you have to do in order to... I don't know if that's just what I heard. So don't... Who's ready to full port CPI? The only way I would full port is if I would buy an account. There is no way in hell that I would full port funded accounts. I don't even have any evaluation accounts. I only have funded accounts. I mean, we're at a reversal point, so this thing could very likely reverse from here. So I don't go against the trend. I don't long below the view op. So even though it looks like a good long, but I would not. I've seen also too many times where it looks like a good long and then it just keeps going lower. No gold on Apex is BS. I hear so a lot of prop firms did that. A lot of prop firms, I guess, restricted silver and gold and stuff. Is it because it's moving too crazy? I don't know why did they restrict it? Because it's not Apex. It's a lot of prop firms are restricting it. I guess I think it's just moving too crazy. So. No. Yeah, if you break a rule, your money doesn't go away. You just have to continue trading, and you don't lose the profits just because you broke a rule. You have to continue trading and not break the rule again. Yeah, I don't mean you don't lose your profits or anything like that. I mean, this would be a better, like, long, possibly, confirmation once we break out of this structure. Again, I don't take longs below, but I'm just kind of doing analysis, right? Once we kind of start breaking that structure and displacing and making sure that it's not a sweep, because you don't want to get stuck in a sweep and then go lower and get stopped out. You wait for the displacement, and then once you get the displacement, then you kind of have a, but here's the thing, right? Even when you wait for the displacement, you got view op right there. So it's like, if you try to take a long, you're literally taking a long into view op, which is like, I don't think it's a smart idea. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's too much stopping price from going higher. Too much resistance in this area to even think about going long. But you do you, you know, this is not financial advice. I'm just kind of giving my analysis. Why do crypto sellers always look at washed out car salesmen? You just called me a washed out car salesman? Are you calling me a washed out car salesman? Well, I know you ain't talking to me like that. First of all, I'm not a crypto trader, so you can't be talking about me. Or you're speaking in general. I am a car salesman. I do sell cars. I got this bump on my head. I don't know what the hell is happening. I think I'm growing horns. I need to stop touching because it's gonna get. I have a third eye growing on my head. Maybe I can help me analyze the charts better. I'll get this like third eye to be able to see into the future of the market. And I'm just gonna be like taking just banger after banger trade. I could see the trade playing out before it even plays out. You know what it is? I think it's, so like I work on car. Obviously, those who watch me know I buy and resell cars. And so when I'm working on a car and like if it's hot and you like touch your forehead a lot with like dirty hands, I think that's what it is. I gotta stop doing that. It's kind of hard though when you're working on a car and you need to wipe your forehead. I gotta get a towel or something. It's all right. It'll go away. Hey, I'm fine with it if it's gonna help me to trade, right? I don't care. I'll take it. I'll take a third eye any day if it'll help me in my trading. Any fintech I don't even know what a fintech company is. What do you mean by fintech? No! Stop. Do not DM anyone. Blocked. If anyone says DM me and I will teach you how to, they're a scammer. Don't fall for it. Oh, that's the worst feeling when you need to sneeze and it goes away. Oh, financial technology? No, I don't really pay attention to individual stocks. I pay attention just to NASDAQ. I'm not really a big proponent of like chasing different stocks and chasing different. I think you should become familiar with one thing, unless you're a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, that's completely different. But in terms of day trading, I don't like to jump around because it's better to become an expert in one sector or one thing than try to figure out everything. Like there's certain things that, like for example, right? Let's take this. There are certain strategies that may work with like NASDAQ that you try to use in ES and S&P and it won't work. And same thing with other stocks. Like there are certain things that work for some stocks but will not work for other stocks. A certain strategy or a certain, so if I can see how NASDAQ moves and I like how it moves and there's no reason for me to like try to overcomplicate it. I'm at the point in my trading where I just want to come in, I want to take a trade, You know, do my trading from 9:30 until 11 and walk away. I have no interest in sitting here all day trying to figure out what the next big mover is going to be and all that crap. Do my analysis, watch it pick a direction, go with the flow, make my money, walk away, and enjoy my day. But yeah, every like they all move differently. All right, here's it starting to push back through. Possibly, but we got view up there. Like I said, we got view up so close that even if this decides to go long, you got a resistance coming up very soon after that. So. $376. Well, here's the thing. 376. I mean, that's a long shot. I mean, because here's the thing. In order for it to get to 376, it's gotta, right? It's gotta displace, right? Then it starts moving up, right? Say it displaces, it gets above this pivot point right here. What's the next resistance? Then you got the 5-minute low, right? You got that 5-minute low. Then you got the view op down here. Then you got the 200. Then you got an imbalance right there. So you got like, what, 4 different things? 1, 2, 3, 4 different things that will potentially hold price down. You need, and from what I see it as, you need a lot of buying pressure to start stepping in order to get to that 376 level. Now, could it happen? Yes, it could happen. But you would need a lot of buyers stepping in. Which, the question is there enough buyers to take it to that level? It doesn't seem like it as of now. It's definitely, it's definitely going there at some point, but the question is, I'm talking about like this morning session. I'm talking about like right now. Yeah, I mean, it could get there by the end of the day and stuff, or even 100%. I'm talking about in terms of where price is sitting at now. It's going to take a lot. And I also feel like the closer we get to this like lunch hour session, volume starts to die down. So there's even a less probability that, you know, you're going to get the buyers that you need. The thing about trading, here's the thing about trading, right? The goal is to, you get into a position and then other people get in after you, right? So that's why I pick at certain areas, like for example, this short here, right? You want buyers to step in, you get an entry, and then sellers take over. That means other people, you're getting into a trade, and then other people are piling and taking it higher after you, right? You don't want to be the last one to the party, because then you're just going to end up buying at the top. You want to be one of the first ones, not one of the first ones to get in, but get in at a certain level so that when you get in, other people start to get in after you. So what I mean by saying all that is you need volume behind you to be able to get to the TP. So you got to think about it. Is it going to have enough volume to get there right now? Now, maybe in power hour or later on, it'll get the volume. But as of now, I just don't see the volume. But who knows, man? This is all speculative. This could freaking shoot up 100 points in the next minute. Who knows? Trump could say something or... We have detected inactivity in your live. Complete the verification. All right, all right. Yeah, it's chopping right now. You're not... And that's another kind of red flag. Why I think it's just like... Give me a second. That's another red flag because... Right? There are times where it sweeps pre-market lows, you get a V-shape out of it. So when it sweeps a massive level like a pre-market low and you don't get the buyers stepping in after sweeping that big of a level and it just starts to chop sideways, that shows me, that tells me that volume isn't stepping in. So buyers aren't aggressive. So if buyers aren't aggressive, right, it could go lower. If buyers can't push it up, guess what? It's going to go lower. Or chop around sideways. Or just nobody wants to make the first move. Because you got to think about it. 80% of this price action is bots. So it's like maybe no bot wants to make the first move, right? Because they don't want to get... So everyone's waiting kind of... Because you got to think about it. These bots are coded. They're algorithmically coded in a certain way to trade a certain way. So if those parameters aren't met, they're not going to trade. They're not going to trade or trade as aggressively. So then you get just chopped sideways until it starts moving in a certain direction. Then the bots start stepping in aggressively and... I think we go lower. I mean, if it's not necessarily go lower, because we've swept pre-market lows. I mean, it's got a shot in the dark. Nobody wants to make the first move. You don't have, like, it doesn't have the volume to go higher, and it's in going lower also doesn't really have the volume because we've just taken out a massive level of pre-market lows. So who's gonna want to short after taking out pre-market lows, right? So This is kind of what's, in my opinion, this is what's going on right now. We're not getting the volume to step in to go push it higher, and you're also not getting volume to go lower because we've already swept out a massive level. So who's trying to short a massive, like the bottom of a range? There it is. 281 next stop. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think more buyers would start to step in if we start breaking down, like displacing. When we start displacing, then that's when you see buyers or sellers or whatever, they start stepping in more aggressively. And plus, look to the upside. Pay attention to this. If on the 15-minute chart, look how many imbalances we got. We got this massive imbalance, then we got another one above that, and we got all this resistance. So for price to go higher, it's gonna need a decent amount of volume, and I really don't think it's got it in it. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Goldman Sachs could buy a freaking $20 million. That's all it takes is for one massive hedge fund to buy a massive amount, and then this thing will probably skyrocket. Didn't 311? Oh, you think it's gonna go for the lows? I've seen that happen too, where it kind of comes down, takes out the low one more time. Like it's swept pre-market lows, then it comes down, sweeps it one more time. Maybe it's like accumulation kind of phase where it's kind of looking like it wants to go up. It's looking like it wants to go up. All these people try to start getting in. All these stops down here are getting piled in. And then it pushes down, takes out the stops. And then you get buyers immediately start to step in. Almost like building this liquidity down here. I've seen that happen. Kind of like what happened here. Obviously, it's like, right? It tries to push it higher. Kind of fails. Sweeps it one more time. A bunch of people probably got stopped out, and then it goes higher. It's chopping. There's no... I mean, if anything, bears are in control right now, right? If you look on just overall price action, bears are in control. If we're talking about a fight, the bears are winning. So if you're talking about odds, the Bears got better odds than the Bulls. And it's 10:30. Taking it lower. Kind of curious to see. I'm just like, even though I'm just curious to see what they do. And this is another, like, here's the thing. It's still good. Like, even though I really don't have a trade setup coming up here, it's really good to still analyze price and try to understand what the NASDAQ is doing. Like, try to figure out its characteristics. What is it doing right now in terms of, so that it could potentially help you for the next day. Like, if I know price action, what price action has been like lately, then I can better position myself tomorrow. Like, if, for example, right, if every day I notice price is kind of like choppy, then I got to position myself to understand that we could potentially chop around. I don't want to put myself in a spot where I'm expecting a big move when we've been chopping for the past 3 days. Or if price is kind of like, it's liking to take out levels and or sweep a level, then come down, sweep it one more time, and then go up. If it's lately liking to do that, I can position myself better. Here comes 281. Yeah, there's 281. Well, not quite. Actually, yeah. Tap 281. Now, the question is it going to sweep these and go back up, or is it going to displace? Still. Nobody wants to step in. Everyone's scared. It's kind of funny seeing that. It's funny seeing that because it's like, you know what's going on. When it's like, when it gets to a certain level like this, and it's just like, you could see price just like barely moving. Bulls don't want to step in. And then bears also don't want to step in. Until somebody finally makes the move, and then it goes higher or it goes lower. But it's like nobody wants to be the first person to make the move. I mean, if you look on, let's look on an hourly chart, right? I mean, these lows are in play right here. Next pivot point down there at 25,068. I mean, I think that we got lows down here that looks like it wants to go for those lows potentially. This next set of lows down there, right? We failed pre-market lows. We failed to go higher. You can see that wick of price buyers trying to step in at pre-market lows. We failed to do that. So the next level is that 142 level, right? Which we're going for right now. And then after 142s, we got that pivot point down there. We got that like 058 level. And then after that, so we got these levels down there, but what a move down. That's pretty wild. Starting to kind of displace. So we got, it looks like it wants to go down there. See, like right now, this still isn't it's not really a displacement. Not a displacement just yet. If this candle really closes heavy, that becomes a displacement. This could still be a sweep. This candle could still push up and get back into this range. And then you're looking at a sweep. So like this is the deciding candle that will tell you a lot if whether it's a sweep or a displacement. We got 10 seconds left in this candle. See how this candle closes, heavy or not. Yeah, it's closing heavy, so there's the displacement. Yeah. There's the displacement. So the question is do they retest this? But we're at such a low that it's like at this point I'm not trying to short it down here. I like to put myself in the best possible position. I don't want to give away profits that I've made on just like a, you know, just like a trade that. So now that like the idea would be they could possibly come back up and retest it as resistance, but we're going for those lows, which we're sweeping the next set of lows down there now. Right, we're coming up. We've swept the first set of lows. Buyers can't start stepping in. We're going for that pivot point down there. We got that pivot point in play. If buyers can't start stepping in. Which, bruh. Oh, man. Oh, man, my muscles hurt. I have a bad habit of sleeping on my stomach. I sleep on my stomach and I'm like all twisted up and crap, and then I wake up and my muscles are sore. Can we say market manipulation? I mean, it's not really much manipulation right now. I mean, I guess you could look at it as that, but a little bit of it. I mean, it's been clearly trending to the downside. That's why another reason why I said, I mean, when we were chopping here, right? Like I said, if we can't get enough buyers to step in, what is it going to do? It's going to go lower. Like you just... And like playing with the trend. If all you did today was just play with the trend, I mean, you probably would have made money. You wouldn't have really gotten stopped out. Unless your stop is insanely tight. But if your stop makes sense according to market structure, you wouldn't have got stopped out. I guess if you were greedy, then you could have gotten stopped out. Like if you tried to go short right there. And then... No, you couldn't have. Because then... Or if you tried to short at a bad spot, I guess you could have, but you know the point. Yeah, we're still bleeding lower. It's wild. 2 days in a row of this straight bleed lower. This is like a mirror image of what happened yesterday. Dun, 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 dun. Now, keep paying attention to higher time frames. That's super important. We're coming on that pivot point. Possible bounce area coming up. We got that low down there. 0.58 level, like I said, 0.58 levels in play. We got that pivot point down there, so this could be a level where it could bounce off of. Or buyers can start to really... We'll see. But there's that displacement. You really didn't get a retracement to give you an opportunity to go short, but... Man, that's wild. Like, who would have known this would have gone this much lower? That's the problem with like going with the trend. That's the only issue is like when you're up here and you're going with the trend, you feel so much more confident because you got view op there. You got like, you can put your stop. Like if I shorted here, I can put my stop above like highs up here or in like in an area where it makes sense. Where like, man, it's got to break view op. It's got to get back into this range. It's got to break the 200 to get to my stop loss. But when you end up like trying to go short down here, even though it works out, like you got to put your stop loss in an area where, I mean, price could easily pop up there. And then talk about going short even down here, then you're like even more in an area. I just view it as probability wise. The lower we go, the less probability that that trade is going to work out. That's just how I view it. So even though like you look in hindsight 2020, yeah, there's like, man, after this, after the first short setup, you had another short setup, then you had two more short setups, but this one didn't really give you an entry point. This one just kind of went without you. Right, and we're below, I mean, we're below that 200. We're below. We literally tapped in on the 15-minute chart. Look at that. We pushed up. We tapped into that imbalance and then just dropped. Still going lower. I'm interested to see if we V-shape out of this. It'd be funny. If it kind of takes out this level and just V-shapes out. Oh, you took the short? Appreciate the follow. Alright, I'm honestly like, golly, bruh. This looks like a really good short. This looks like a really good short opportunity, but bro, I have not tried to short at the very bottom. Like, it looks really good though. Trend is always your friend. Yeah, that's gonna be my main saying now. Trend is your friend. Trend is your friend. Like, at least listen. Look at it this way. If you went with the trend and say you got stopped out, at least you can look back and go, listen, I got stopped out, but I went with the trend. At least you could say that. But if you're going against the trend and you get stopped out, then you're just like, what are you doing? It's like driving on the wrong side of the road. Like, what are you doing, bruh? Opening up a used Hyundai car dealership so I can go broke. Well, Hyundai is a franchise dealership, so Hyundai's, yeah, I sold a Hyundai. I had a Hyundai I sold recently, but it was a low mileage one. The Hyundai I sold had 60,000 miles on it. Be careful for Hyundais. They have problems. They have like engine problems and like they had actually, I forgot what years, but they had a recall on their engines. I try to stay away from Hyundais. I don't buy Hyundais anymore. The reason I bought that one was because it was just a low mileage one, so I figured like it was gonna be good. 100K needs transmission work. Yeah. Also, stay away from anything. This is just like people that don't understand cars. Make sure you do not buy anything with a CVT transmission. CVT transmissions are bad. If you're gonna buy a car, research, does it have a CVT transmission? And if it does, no go. So the thing about CVT transmissions, they're good transmissions, but you have to maintain them, which nobody does. Nobody services transmissions, and when you don't service a CVT, it breaks. And nobody services them, so that's why they're constantly breaking. They're actually decent transmissions if you service them correctly. Nissan, a lot of Nissans have CVT transmissions. So I would just watch out for that. And before you buy a car, look at the common problems, right? Before you're gonna buy a car, go on Google, type in whatever car you're interested in, most common problems. And if there's anything like internal engine problems or timing chain problems, or just stay away from it. Anything like bad engine work, like deep engine work, you want to stay away. Or transmission. Now, every brand is going to have like their little problems, or like, turbo problems, this, that. Like, these kind of things are whatever. As long as it doesn't have major like problems like timing chain. What a timing chain is, if a timing chain goes out, right, your engine is, a lot of times if it's what's called an interference engine, it's toast. So, or a belt, right? Most chains don't really go out, they stretch, but belts typically go out. Or you can get, if you have a warranty on a car that's like not the most, you'd have to make sure you get a good warranty on a car that's not the most reliable. But, it's... People used to go to auctions and put sawdust in transmission fluid. But people do so much insurance fraud these days. It still happens today. I seen it, especially when hurricanes come through. I live in Florida. When hurricanes come through, so much insurance fraud. Which is like, for me, it's good, because for the insurance companies, it's bad because they're the ones who get screwed. For me, it's good because I'm the one who gets a really good deal on it. So, I had bought, last hurricane that came through, we had bought a Fox Body Mustang. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. It was like a restored, like a beautiful blue color Fox Body Mustang with like white interior. It was a really nice insurance fraud. What the dude did was cut the wire that goes to the fuel pump, like cleanly in the back. You could see, like, somebody took scissors, cut the wire, and dumped like 2 gallons of water in the fuel tank. And so it's like, then he wrote it off as it's a flood vehicle. So I bought it as a flood car, which it had no flood damage at all. All he did was cut that wire and pour water in the gas tank. And why did he do that? Because he didn't want to go through selling the car, working with customers and trying to go through all that to sell the car, when he could fraud the insurance company, and then the insurance company is going to give him full value for his car, and he doesn't have to go through any of that. That happens trust me, you can't imagine how much billions of dollars of fraud goes on during hurricanes. Like, a crazy amount of fraud. Because the volume for insurance companies is so crazy that they cannot just sit there and inspect every car. They kind of have to just take a word. If somebody says that, I had water damage in my car, they just kind of go with it. They just kind of like trust, And worst case scenario, the government bails the insurance companies out, so. But it's bad because they're incentivizing it for people to do that. It happens a lot. Which for me, listen, I get really good deals. So I'm perfectly fine with, if the insurance companies don't want to do anything about it, then they send all flood cars to Jersey. Yeah, I'm like a master. Like, no dealer wants to deal with flood cars. And so me being the person, I know how to deal with them. Trust me, I've sold a lot of flood cars. But that's just because I have experience in it and I know what to look for. I've sold a Porsche 911 that was flooded. and it wasn't flooded. The drains got clogged up and water got in the interior. So it's like, I've had cars where I did need to strip the interior, dry everything out, clean the electrical connectors. The only thing you gotta really like, you gotta know what you're doing, or else you can get screwed, because salt water damage, that's like an immediate, like, you're just screwed. Anything salt water, you're not gonna be able to fix. You're gonna have problems for the rest of the car's life. It's junk. Fresh water, you can still deal with it. You can clean everything out. Everything works good. So, I kind of know what I'm doing. So, and I'm not just talking to talk. I've sold a decent amount of flood cars, and not one time has the customer came back and said that something was wrong. Like, you sold me garbage. That's never happened. So, and I sold crazy deals, bro. I like what I do because I can get a good deal, and then I could sell it to someone also for a really good deal. Like, I'm talking like I've sold Chrysler 300, like a beautiful Chrysler 300, like a 2012, a white one. Like, it looks really good. It was a flood, but I fixed it up, and I sold it to a person. They're like, I've always wanted one of these cars. I sold it to a person for $5,000. It had 50,000 miles on it. 50,000 miles, and I sold it for $5,000. I'm selling a car right now. A 2016 Buick Encore with 50,000 miles for $6,000. Like, where are you gonna get a 50,000 mile car for $6,000? Only with me. I'm the best in the game. All my cars sell within 2 weeks. My issue is, and I'm not just bragging, my issue in the car business is I can't fix the cars fast enough. Because I post them for such a good deal that they typically go, within 2 weeks, I sell it. Alright, enough about cars. I like talking about cars. Cars and trading. Two things that I love. They smell in salt water. Yeah, well, salt water destroys everything. It'll destroy electrical. It'll rust. It's just a nightmare with salt water. Yeah, this was perfect shorts. There were plenty of opportunities to catch shorts, but, you know, this was a mirror image of what happened yesterday. Perfect. Best trade of the day was right here. Once we displaced below that low, we tapped into that very small imbalance right there. And obviously this old support becoming new resistance. Bottom of the 5-minute range. Boom. Tapped into it, and that was pretty much, that was a top tier short right there. Entry. PA been nice lately, but I blew my funded yesterday. Yeah, you gotta just make sure you don't, like, with funded accounts, you get the freaking urge to size up. And the methodology I have to prevent blowing my funded accounts, listen, everyone goes through drawdown, right? Every trader is gonna go through drawdown. So in a funded account, the way I do it personally is, if I do go through some drawdown, like if I can see myself, like, you know, you have times where you take a losing trade, then you take another loss, and then you take another loss, and you're just like going through the streak of just like taking losses. So if that happens, what I do personally is I start to size down to protect myself, right? So that if I'm going through a losing streak, I protect myself in the drawdown phase, so I minimize my losses. And then, right, you size down, you take a couple base hits, like boom, winning trade, boom, winning trade, boom, winning trade. You get your feet, you know, wet a little bit, you take a couple base hits, and then when you build up your account to a certain point, then you can start sizing back up. When you start sizing back up, so you want your equity curve, when you're going through drawdown, you want your equity curve to be very slightly slanted. because you're sizing down. You're protecting your downside. And then once you start going through that phase where you're taking winning trade after winning trade after winning trade and you start sizing up, you stay sized up so that your equity curve when you're in drawdown is slightly, and then when you're hitting those winning streaks, your equity curve is more steeper than your downside, if that makes sense. But nobody wants to size down because everybody has an ego, right? Everybody has an ego, and what a lot of traders do is instead of sizing down and protecting themselves, what they'll do is they'll size up to try to make back that loss. And that's like the worst thing you could do. I would say that and going against the trend is what I see a lot of people make a big mistake in trading. Got my trade, I'm done for the day. That's what it's all about. You wait for the perfect setup. You don't even need to take more than one trade a day. You wait for the perfect setup, you're patient, right? Every day has an opportunity. Even today, if you missed, like, right? If you missed today, guess what? Tomorrow's gonna come around. We're gonna get more price action tomorrow. So, that's the goal of trading, to be able to get the experience so you can come into the market, trade from like 9:30 to 11, take 1 or 2 trades, make your money, and walk away. That's the goal. The goal is never to sit on the computer all day and, you know. One of the hardest parts is not going on tilt. Trust me, and you're always gonna go through that. I wish I can tell you that the more experience you get in trading, you're gonna get to a level where you're not gonna want to go on tilt. That never goes away, ever, 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 ever. So just mentally prepare yourself that you're gonna always go through that. I still go through that. I've been trading for a while now, and I still go through that. Like, especially on days where, that's why I have a rule where I can only take 2 losses in a row. If I take 2 back-to-back losses in a row, that means I'm not seeing the market correctly. And if I'm not seeing the market correctly, I gotta walk away. So that's why I have that hard set rule. But trust me when I say this, I've had days where if I take 2 losses in a row, everything in me just wants to continue to trade to make that back, to not end the day on 2 losses in a row. Everything in me just wants to keep trading. But I gotta stop myself and walk away. And that never goes away. That tilt that you want to continue to tilt always stays there. So you gotta this is why discipline comes in. You gotta be disciplined in order to stop yourself from over trading. Blew my funded account because I listened to my mentor and not myself. Yeah, never listen to anybody. I mean, don't even, like, even when I say something, right? Everything is speculative. Everything I say is just my opinions and how I see price action. There is no, like, you know, nobody knows the market to where they're gonna say, guys, it's gonna reverse right here, so get in longs. That nobody knows. So your mentor doesn't know. Nobody knows. The only thing is, right, you got to build your own intuition. You got to build your own skill set so where you can take a trade and you can make money because you saw the trade. Yeah, and like, never copy anyone, because copying also doesn't work. It's just like, you're never going to learn, and you're going to take a loss, and then you're going to get mad because you copied that person. And every person takes losses. No matter how good of a trader someone is, they take losses. Saw longs and it crashed. Yeah, that happened. I mean, as long as you follow your plan, if you have a strategy that's been working for you, all you could do is follow that strategy. And, you know, failed to close above London highs exactly like yesterday, and it crashed. It was kind of easy, not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. Today was like a very easy day, but like, when you look at it and it's easy to you, other people are looking at something completely different, so to them it's not easy. But yeah, I mean, I agree. We failed. I look at it as also, it was pretty easy. You failed to failed to go higher, so it went lower. Once it broke view op and it's just like started to displace below the low, all the red flags were screaming that we're going to go lower, potentially to that pre-market low level. So, but that's the thing in trading. If you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. Something to you that's obvious, when somebody else is looking for something completely different, right, they're not going to see it. Like, for example, right, if I always go with direction, so when it breaks view up and goes to a certain direction and I'm only looking for shorts, my mindset is only looking. So I'm only looking for short opportunities. Someone who's a reversal trader, right, when the market is falling and taking out levels, if they're a reversal trader and they're looking for longs, they're not even looking for short opportunities. They're only looking for longs. So they're in the mindset of only looking for longs and they keep getting stopped out. To you, it was like, that was an obvious short. We're going lower. To him, it's like, I was trying to catch a long. I didn't, you know, today was shitty price action when it really wasn't. It's not what happens, it's your attitude to what happens. 100%, I agree. It's your attitude to what happens. All you could do as a trader is, like, you see an opportunity, right? You take the trade, you put your stop loss in place, you put your take profit in place, you know you have a plan, and you let the trade play out. And that's all you could do. But when people start to get an ego and start to get pissed off because they were wrong and they start to move their stop, cancel their stop, size up when they're in losing streak, that all is so destructive in your trading. What is driving market down all of a sudden? Did I miss something? I mean, we've been dropping for the past 2 days already. I mean, it's just, I don't know what's behind it. I'm not really like, I just trade price action. Whatever behind this drop, maybe it's just a reversal. I mean, the market moves up and the market moves down, right? So when you look on a higher time frame, we've been in a consolidation phase for the past how many days? I mean, look at this. This is the hourly chart right here. Look at that. We've been like since February 8th, which was what? For the past 3 days, look at this. Sideways, 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 sideways. And now we're finally dropping. So a lot of times market trends up, then it gets into an accumulation phase like sideways price action. Then it continues going up or it falls all the way back down. So it's normal market price action. Not necessarily anything going wrong. Like, you see what happened here. Look at the freaking market move on February 5th. Look at this. Straight shot to the upside. Then we started to go sideways. Now we're having a straight shot to the downside. So, but all right. So today was a really good day. Good price action, although, you know, I did miss out on the short. But still, the setup did work. I was distracted and didn't realize that price was pushing up. So it is what it is, but still, it was a perfect opportunity. So we'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the week, so be back tomorrow and see how we can end off the week. So far, it's been a good week. I don't think I took a loss this week yet. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends off. It is what it is, but I'll be back tomorrow. Isn't CPI to? Let's actually check. What is tomorrow? Let me check real quick. Tomorrow we got, CPI at 8:30 tomorrow. So we may get some good price action tomorrow. I'm not trading CPI because I don't trade morning. I hop on at 9:30. So we'll see what price does, right? When we get that CPI news, price likes to, in the morning, it likes to target the highs and lows of that data that came out. So we'll see what it's going to want to do tomorrow. But yeah, CPI tomorrow at 8:30. But I'll hop on at 9:30 tomorrow. I'll be back. So if you want to stop by, you know where to find me. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful day. Don't overtrade. Stay safe. Have fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.